Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play SimCity, and welcome back to Texas City. Let's get that flowing. So people seem to still be busy moving into our town. I've actually transferred a few more bucks from what do we call it? Los Policion. Yes, we've sent some more money over, just in case we happen to run out, which just seems unlikely, but what the heck. I've also gone over in Los Policion, which had no add-ons to its town hall, and I built the last two missing ones. So we can build, we can build everything, basically. It's been unlocked. Which brings us to the point of our civil services. For example, a fire has just broken out, and of course we don't have any civil services yet. So I was mostly thinking about concentrating in them in this end, and I think that I'm going to build them right here, because that lets them be relatively centralized and should give them decent access, and hopefully their roads won't be blocked off, especially actually if they're on this side, because the traffic flows towards the right. It's unlikely to have a big bottleneck. Although, again, I think on the high-density roads, they can actually take a left to exit. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go ahead and build the large fire station, because why not? We have the money. We may as well. And that's the big question. Do I want to tuck it right in the corner or give them a little bit more space? I guess it doesn't really matter. First of all, the trucks are going to come off. Well, I keep moving my cursor to show you, but the trucks are going to come out a little bit to the left. Yeah, let's pop it down. I think the trucks are going to come out of here, plus I'm going to have to build more trucks as well, which I could build off on this side. Well, we're going to kind of play that by ear and see how it goes, but I don't think they're going to be too blockaded by the traffic. It does make me think, though, I've got to leave some space in here for further fire vehicles in the future. While I am here, what's not approved? We need a School of Engineering in the region. Do I not have that? Curious, because I will want that. We will want a... Hold on, let's get the sign down first, because that's very important. And the flag as well, clearly. We'll go ahead and build at least one of these towers. Oh, right, we can only do one of those. It's the fire helipad that we can build more than one of. So we're going to build one of those for now, and we'll save the other roof spots for later. I don't think we need an extra fire truck right now. I mean, we could, like, sort of future-proof things, but I think we're going to be okay. I will go ahead and build the fire marshal's office, though, just to try to prevent fires, because that's going to be pretty handy. If you can prevent them in the first place, then it minimizes a lot of the problems altogether. Then we're going to go ahead and build the Great Police Precinct. And yeah, the only problem is I can't predict exactly how much room I'm going to need over here for my fire trucks. I guess what I'll do is actually stick this guy on the other side of this intersection, like this. Then there's a nice amount of symmetry. This guy's not quite as centralized, but it's going to be okay. Yeah, it should be fine. So, of course, we're going to put the sign. Is there no flag? The police precinct does not have a flag? What? Is this acceptable? I'm not sure that it is. Ugh. All right, one dispatch tower. Help your patrol cars respond quicker, which is very handy. I'll leave it on this sort of frontish bit. Then we're going to go ahead and put in one police helipad as well. Proactively prevent crime, and it does help out the entire region as well. So yeah, again, I'm going to stick it sort of off to the side so we can expand later on pretty easily. We probably... How many police cells do we... We've got 50 jail cells in here. That's actually going to do great for now. But we will put down one crime prevention center as well. And I think that's a fine place for it. And that's going to be very handy. All right, I like it. The last thing we do need to add in is our hospital as well. And it's going to be the same thing. I'll put the hospital on the other side of the road. I think it's going to be okay. I'll put it roughly, yeah, just here. So it's got enough room to still put that one add-on the side. And I think we're not going to get traffic screwed too much. We're going to put down the hospital sign. And this, again, does not have a flag. Super disappointed. Again, we'll build one wellness center, which does need road access. If you can keep tucking them in here, actually, that's going to be quite helpful. And I don't know if we'll need a patient wing quite yet. At some point we will. One emergency room is certainly smart. And yeah, I'm all right with placing it there. And I suppose I may as well go ahead and build a patient wing. We're going to want it at some point. Again, we're probably not going to want to build things on this road, so it's not a bad idea to sort of build in that direction. And call that good. I don't think we're going to need an extra ambulance. We should be okay for now. We'll certainly want to expand later. And it's not like money is a problem, but I still feel like I don't want to overdo things too much. So, yeah, let's go. Let it go fast, and that'll be fine. We do have the university. The tech level's here. Yeah, all the way up, which is exactly what I want to see. Speaking of the university, is there an expansion we can do? Well, first of all, we can put a sign up front, clearly. And we can put down a bunch of dorms. We want to be able to house as many students as possible. I think is certainly a good idea. And I'm going to put it... Now, do they use the road access? I guess they'll walk. Actually, I like that. Let's encourage the walking. Because I don't think they'll park. I don't think they'll drive into here, so it's not going to be the end of the world. Let's go ahead and... there's a path back there already. Good, okay. So let's put one over here. And then later on, we'll expand the path and put on some extra schools and things. Obviously, this is going to take up a lot of room, but that's okay. Our goal is to provide services to the arcology, mostly. So a maxed-out university is going to be fine. It's also quite nice looking, so that's okay. I love the trees in the middle here. If we can keep that, I might be pretty happy about that. But we'll see. There might be some other kind of decorative stuff we can put in there. I think we do want to put down some parks because we definitely want to raise our land value. Now, of course, all our residential zones are around the little middle zone here. So, and I don't want to prevent these guys from growing. I'm not sure how much space they'll need. We actually have too much crime. Okay. Well, listen, we're going to take care of that real soon, y'all. You're going to be okay. Anyway, I was going to say I could actually put a bunch of gardens in the middle. That's one of the things I could do. I don't think I want these balloon things. Oh, the amphitheater, though, would be really quite special. So yeah, it's going to take up so much room that the buildings can't actually grow. So the middle might end up being a really good place for this. Technically, there's a little bit of traffic as people try to turn in and out, but I don't think there's going to be huge numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and take the risk, and then we'll see how it goes. And build some on the other side here, just to try to push land values up a little bit. There will need some parks a little closer by, and we'll see what we can do about that. Actually, I might do that now. Again, we can put a park over here. Oh, I can't actually tuck it in any further. Although, this is potentially okay. Or maybe we'll do another round of parks here. Or maybe right here. We don't need high residential population. So, cutting back on the number of actual people that are there might be okay. Then we'll get some nice high wealth commercial stuff kicking in as well. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll adjust as we go. We do have some crime problems, of course, but it should start to resolve itself pretty soon. There we go, lots of captures already. Although, you know what? We might actually end up needing more jail cells. So let's go ahead and start expanding on that right there. And you know what? We'll go ahead and build another rack of police cars because we can. Running on battery power, but still got lots of power going. Arcology is hopefully being powered up properly. Buy power from a neighboring... listen, I don't need to do that. That'll be fine. Arsonist fire. It's funny, it doesn't actually tell me there's a fire going on right now. I think it's just warning me about the arsonist itself. There are a lot of criminals in town. I do think I've got a Dr. Vu tower somewhere, so that'll be interesting to see how it goes. We've got enough jail cells now, and we don't have that huge population, so things should start to get cleaned up. So a little bit of a traffic problem, but I think it's a lot of people kind of moving in and out, and that will probably even out at some point. I'm not too concerned. I think our structure is going to work. Now, we have the industry going there. We're mostly waiting for things to kick in. Still annoyed that we needed workers. Well, why aren't the workers coming from out of town? They probably will. What am I missing? I am missing the air. The airships. We definitely want some of that. And an airplane, or rather an airport. I don't think we need that, but an airship hangar is certainly a good idea. Now, we have a lot of access coming in down here from the train and the ferry, but I think we're going to want to build one on the other side of town. And actually, even though it's very out of the way, as long as we're servicing it by bus, this should be okay. Some people will need to drive here. Look at the buses all running in a freaking row again. We really need that next patch. Yeah, I'll put it here. We'll see how it goes. And then we have the ability to build the commuter hangar, which I definitely want to do. And I don't think it matters where this actually gets put. Put it in the middle just for looks. Even though I do want to keep the on and off from the this little roundabout as much as possible off the avenues. You know what? Something like this is going to be fine. Yeah. It's still going to be enough room to build some more fire trucks, and we'll deal with that afterwards. I think, yeah, I think we're going to be fine. Bus service is okay. I think we're mostly covering everywhere we've currently got buildings. We'll have to build a few more bus stops later on, but for now, yep, definitely okay. And look at the buses just following each other. It's all double-deckers. Now, I haven't actually expanded my busing, so... and I know they do come with a fair number of buses. I don't know how many. But I think some of them might be coming from out of town. Oh, some people were curious about the street. Oh, and I can change the density of that. I hadn't realized. For some reason I thought this density of this road here was locked in place, but I guess not there. That will cut back on the intersections by 1 slot. These people will still have a problem if they're trying to make a left off the low-density road, and there certainly are a lot of people that go in there. But I think I do prefer not interrupting the avenue traffic as much as possible to set lights up until we need it. Look at the buses! It's so broken. On the other hand, once the bus usage gets up a little bit, I think they will declump a little at that point. We'll see. He said hopefully. Might not actually be the case, but we can hope. I could even connect these roads, but I don't think that's a good idea. I do like this tunnels. I'm very excited for the next patch, introducing the ability to make your own roads be elevated or sink down to the ground, make your own tunnels. That will also alleviate a lot of traffic problems and let you make really interesting looking cities, which is possibly the most important part of that. Anyway, money is slowly coming in. People should be mostly getting satisfied because they've got work, they've got commerce, and they've got home. The parks, again, mostly are there to add land value as opposed to density, despite what you see when you see the smiley faces. What are you complaining about? Classroom is full. Hey, we can upgrade. That's a good sign. We can start some research projects. Now, I don't think that we can research any of these without a building. You know what? I think I will build the engineering school, though. And we may as well have it here. I'm not sure how much it actually adds for us in the region. Business, engineering. Increases low and medium wealth industrial profits around the city. Well, we're low and medium wealth industrial, but there's no wealth on industrial. It's simply, it's tech level, not wealth. Seems a little odd, but I'll go ahead and put it down. You know, we're wasting a little bit of space here. We could have built it in another region, just to try to, you know, provide more space here. But I like the idea of making a huge university block here. I think that's going to be fine. And I like the idea of adding the hazmat garage to our pool here, because we are going to have a little bit of industry, and I'd rather they did not burn down. Meanwhile, we do have an actual abandoned building. Just the one left. That's not bad. The others were reclaimed. What do you want? What could you possibly want? Oh, you want to do a fireworks show? No, it's not. I don't need the money, so I'm going to pass on the fireworks. Traffic here so far seems to be fine. Land value is at medium and not high, so we will want to buff it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and add some more. Let's get some plazas going on here. Maybe we'll put one right in the middle here. Oh, we do have the Plum Bob Park, which is kind of nifty. Yeah, at the end of the, I do like at the end of the avenue here. It does look kind of half decent, even though we are losing some of that residential, and we've trimmed it quite a bit already. But we can add a little bit more residential afterwards over here or something like that, or, I don't know. Again, we'd have to build more parks. There's a little bit of waste, but still not sure if I'm going to leave these amphitheaters there. It also means we get some high wealth commercial across the street, and that's quite nice. Tiered urban green space. Mostly I want the high density homes too. I don't just want high wealth, I want some high density. Because we're going to try to push the population up. Again, I'm not going to go overkill in the residential. They're mostly just here to kind of get things a little bit kick-started. And we'll see how it goes. Robber crosses the road. Still, the crime should mostly be not going down at all. Okay. 30 of 120 jail cells full. Well, sure the people in this town are like, oh, I thought it was going to be such a beautiful town, and it's a cesspool. You know, we might do the recycling thing, although that means we need to be able to ship it out after, so I'll also need a trade factory, or trade thingy. No, we're not going to bother with recycling at this time. You can make some decent money recycling if you've got a huge-sized city with a lot of education. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, the buses are the biggest source of traffic. Just a ludicrous amount of buses. All right, let's go ahead and finish zoning the rest of the stuff, just to try to keep things a little bit interesting. I'll make another set of commercial zones over here. And then we'll put in some more residential back here. Whoa! Did I not want to do that? That was interesting. Oh, and it is building there. Yeah, see, that's what I was not sure about the other day. I do not want anything facing the street. I guess it depends on what order everything gets zoned in. That makes a big difference there. Alright, vehicles. So there's going to be another surge of traffic as the moving comes in. What do you want? Don't keep bugging me about recycling. Block party, no thanks. We're just going to keep filtering through these different events. Okay, I really want to trigger this event all the way. So let's go ahead and just add a bunch more power. Because we can. Let's just keep building along the avenue since I don't want to build anything right on it anyway. There. Ridiculous amounts of excess power. And what are you complaining about? You want more medium wealth shoppers. Well, I'm hoping they come in from out of town. We do have a lot of commerce. Like, I can't deny that. I don't know. As much as I was like thinking I wouldn't do it, let's go ahead and add in some more residential and see what we think about that. Residential is fun anyway. Having high population is very exciting. Plus, I like the look of the buildings. Well, I guess I like the look of all the high rises once they kick in. They're all kind of interesting. There we go. We'll replace them later on. Once we get all these high-rises, things will look really incredible. I do not like these amphitheaters. They're going to go. I don't like them one bit being in here. They're ruining the look. I want to fill it with trees. And we'll build, I don't know, more parks somewhere else. Closed, needs workers. I guess I'm not getting as much traffic from the arcology as I thought. And that's it. Like, this whole idea was predicated on the idea that I was going to be flooded with people from the arcology. Maybe I will once I get, like, ridiculous amounts of power. I don't know. Speaking of, I don't have to like click something on to send things to the arcology, do I? No. We're at arcology density 7, so we are going up. But yeah, they definitely don't have enough. I think more will kick in a second. We could also build more power somewhere else, and that would be fine too. Once the region updates, and that might be it. We might be partially waiting. Excuse me, on those updates. What do you want? Spending more than we're making. Oh, the town hall is worried. Yeah, listen. Don't worry about it. We got a lot of money in the tank. We can keep doing this for a long, 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 long time. I think I'm going to go ahead and extend this road out. Just a little bit more. And I'll go ahead for, yeah, the services and fitting everything in. You know what, it's fine. We're going to go ahead and add in a little more residential there. And then we're going to add some amount of commercial. And then tuck in some more residential at the end. Like so. What do you want? Maxis man. No. No thanks. He's just not that handy. He's kind of interesting. There's a lot of little quests and whatever, but listen, you are not losing out anything on the game if you don't have a Maxis man for some reason. Don't even worry about it. Moving vehicles. Or no, their buses still clogging everything up. Wow, there's so many stupid buses running around our town. Although that does remind me we need to extend our bus stop situation here. Probably? Yeah, yeah. Like so. And yeah, like so. And another one like that. And a couple more. Alright, I think we're pretty much covered now. I'm going to put one right in front of the airship center, just to make sure that they are properly covered. There. Actually, I want to stay on that bus screen for a little while and watch them flow around the city, or mostly flock around the city in one huge set of goddamn buses. I already thought they'd implemented a few fixes for that a few patches ago, but I guess we're mostly going to have to wait until patch 7 for them to declump. And a fair amount of traffic here. That is the problem with a four-way intersection. The traffic definitely gets much, much, much worse. But it's the four-way intersections on my inner avenues. I'm still hoping people take the outer, and they are, which makes me very happy. And of course, they'll prioritize the outer more and more and more as the traffic goes to avoid it. And that's one of the other things patch 7 is going to introduce. I mean, I don't know. You know, obviously, they keep saying everything is going to be a huge... that everything is, you know, every patch is going to be the miracle patch that fixes everything. We'll see how it goes. School bus stops. Yeah, I guess the bus stops themselves take down, or not the school bus stops, but the other bus stops take down land values. It's still worth building, though. We can counteract it with more parks. Alright, I think all the residential zones are being serviced by the bus stop. The school bus stop. We don't need, like, they don't use it for the university. It's just to go to other towns' schools, which will raise their education level, which is not a bad thing. Oh, more fires. Tech level is maxed out. Education level is not terribly high, although should grow over time, especially now that we've got the extra bus stops in there. We do have quite a few people in here. Progress towards next upgrade. Oh, we can start a research project now because we do have the engineering school, which allows us the wind turbine. You know what? We may as well start it. We'll just try to go through all of the research projects that we can. And oh my god. Sure, why not? You know what? If it wants to start at this end of town, that's actually the least destructive place it can be because the amount of ploppables we have over here is actually very minimal. So please stay over here as much as possible. I'm happy they don't bulldoze roads. Just realized I don't need the avenues to keep going out like that. I'm not allowed to bulldoze it, but I should just get rid of it. It'll actually give us a little bit more room for houses, or rather a park would probably be good. Wow, that is the single least destructive tornado ever. Yeah, you know, we've got a couple of rubbles, but who cares, right? Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and build the Plum Bob Park here now. Right at the end of this road. We'll still need a little bit more stuff. Let's go for some formal parks. They can be a little smaller. We'll put a fountain. Actually, I should really put it sort of like midway. Would be more efficient to try to raise the land value. And we need a little bit more of that over here. Well, let's go ahead and build. We've got the air thing over here. We'll go ahead and build the hot air park at the same time. Something like that. And then a large fountain park. A little further over this way. There we go. Actually, if I was really careful, I'd see what the spacing was. Yeah, see, like the size of the building. Now they're not going to be able to actually go into a high density. So we might have to make some adjustments later on. We'll see how it goes. Some people worried about fire. And actually, what I should do, since there's not going to be any through traffic over here, is I can go ahead and connect these roads over here like that. I could potentially even make a rounded corner, but there's not going to be enough traffic for the intersection to be a bother. And actually, this allows them to do a U-turn over here, which is much better than an actual rounded corner, now that I think about it. I like that a lot. We might still need a few more intersections in general to allow people to make a little slightly shorter U-turns. But on the other hand, I mean, if they make U-turns, well, at major intersections, it's kind of annoying. But if they have to drive a long way and then make the U-turn, it's not necessarily the end of the world. Oh, the Dr. Vu pop-up, and I do not want him. We are not going evil. No thanks. Alright, still going at top speed. Everything's going well. Oh, not top speed. Now top speed. We're losing 20,000 simoleons an hour, but pfft, I'm not worried. Okay, that is a lot of money, but whenever we run out, we can always just pop to another city and then just run things there. And yeah, I'm literally worried about running out of money when I've got 16 million simoleons in the bank. But, I mean, we do have a lot of civil services put down. We're a long way away from really hitting a high population. We're not even at 1,500 yet. We've mostly zoned everything. We could probably fit a few more zones in here and there, especially if we wanted to build right on the avenue, but I'm still trying to avoid that. And I would like a little more industry. That's actually the one thing that I haven't quite figured out where I want to tuck that in quite yet. Because it was my initial plan. Actually, there's probably not going to be that much traffic on these outer avenues. I could potentially tuck in a little bit of industry there. I'm going to do that, and then if there starts to be traffic bottlenecks over here, then I'm going to bulldoze this down the road. So we'll see how that goes. Because we'll keep looking for those traffic hotspots, but other than that, no. Growth. I mean, the growth is happening, right? Well, people visiting the city. Holy crap, that's a lot of visitors. What are they mostly here for? Jobs. Jobs and shopping. Okay. Which is what we thought would happen from, say, the arcology. I mean, that is the initial point of our city. By having higher residential population, we're actually going to cut down on the number of commuters that come into the city, which means a little less traffic from over here, which is good. Now, the one problem is that there's a lot of residences in our city that are going to come down this avenue here and then take a right to go to some jobs, which is unfortunate because also the people commuting in and out of town. So there's a possibility of a real bottleneck here. One of the possibilities might be to extend this road here to connect to the industry in some fashion. That way the local residents here, and even to a lesser extent these guys, although I think most of these guys would take this route instead, will be able to go directly to their job this way as opposed to blocking up the main avenue over there. So that's going to be a definite possibility, assuming that we can build on that grade, which might be a little tricky. But we'll deal with that when we get there. Like, I don't want to be too presumptuous as to where the problems are going to be. Lots of residential demand still, which I guess makes sense because we do have a lot of people commuting in from outside of town. But it's not like we have a lack of houses, and again, the density should go up on its own given some time. What do you want? Yes, I'm definitely going to try to get up to 2,500 residents. Don't you worry about that. Oh, we don't really have parks over here, do we? Here, we're going to give them the balloon ride. There's a balloon ride there. Like so. We'll give them a tiered urban space. Something like over here. There we go, and we should start to get some wealth pop-ups at this point. Some of these are going to be medium wealth, and some might still be low wealth, but that's not the end of the world. I'm not sure how much demand there's going to be for low wealth workers in this town, but we'll see how it goes before we commit to upgrading 100% of them. Although it might be nice to do just to see how it goes. The one thing that annoys me is that the nature parks are medium wealth, because I really like them a lot, those sorts of green spaces as opposed to the plazas. Or even the formals, which, I don't know, have a different kind of look to them that don't sell me the same way. Although I will go ahead and put that down like that. You know, just on the edge of this Taylor Estates. Get a few more pop-ups. I mean, it is very satisfying when they go up. And it does give you a temporary boost to density, to happiness, once you plop it down. But it's just a one-time thing. Right? Don't get confused. It's not the parks that drive them up necessarily, other than the fact that they can use the parks as a backup shopping place. It's not the same kind of effect as just satisfying people overall. No shoppers, no money. Well, what kind of wealth are you? You are a high wealth. Not enough high wealth shoppers nearby. So that is definitely a problem. So let's go ahead and give them a fountain park over here. Why can't I actually tuck it in where I want to tuck it in? There we go. That'll be fine. So there we go. We've kicked them up finally to the proper wealth level, and hopefully that'll give the shoppers. And that is the problem. If you turn all your shops into the wrong wealth class, and you don't have the residences in the right wealth class, it can be really, really annoying as things fail to work the way that you expect. But yeah, other than that, it's all right. The population has dropped, and why is that? Well, it's because the wealthy, the high wealth houses take up a lot more space, but they're a single family home. So your population will drop as you increase your wealth. So our overall numbers would be quite low. Even when they turn into like the high density skyrises, a high density high wealth skyrise fits a fraction of the number of people as a high density low wealth one, which makes sense. High wealth people want, like, you know, entire like suites, right? Huge amounts of space. Whereas the low wealth people, all they can afford is these tiny little apartments, so you can cram way more of them into your one slumlord place. I mean house. So, yeah, so the population numbers are going to be off. I mean, the idea is that hopefully the high wealth people pay more in taxes. Now, how much is that the case? I don't know. We actually can't get a breakdown here based on taxes by wealth. There's probably some option for it, but we'll see how it goes. In fact, for now, I'm actually going to go ahead and just drop all the taxes slightly because I want to encourage growth at this point. So we'll see what we can do to just sort of speed things coming in that way. And I think we're going to put a cut in this episode. And then, I don't know, maybe let this run as a... We're going to have to let it run for a little while because there's only so much you can kind of fiddle with at the time. And to a certain extent, you just got to wait for everyone to move in and out of your city. I mean, for the poor people to move out and the rich people to move in. And, you know, for all these clumps of buses to disperse. So very annoying. Everyone's high-tech. They're happy about their freight shipments. Good, so their density will continue to improve there, too. Which will be really nice to see. 432 people in this city. Considering you can have, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of people in one city. That is an absurdly low number. Especially considering, like, it's so zoned. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see once the density keeps ticking up. And they will. They'll get there. All right, I think that'll take this to a conclusion. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.